But we're going to be reading it now. So the idea is...
I mean, I have read it.
Have you read the one in her handwriting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put your glasses on, Mom.
Yeah, well, I can do it myself, but I just thought it would be fun to have it done by a Wirth family member. Dear Mr. Wirth, this little gold box comes... Oh, it's right here. This little gold box comes with a long story attached to it. President Kennedy was going to give you the Citation of Merit this last 4th of July. He had created it the year before. I have a lump in my throat.
It's hard. I'll take over.
No, I can do it.
Okay.
For people who had done so much for their country. And he was going to award it to a few people each 4th of July in his beloved Rose Garden. He talked to me last summer about giving it to you. You were retiring as head of the Park Service, and that was sad for him. He was so cognizant of all you had done for so many years. He recognized all the pride and devotion and service that had been such a part of your life, and you were the one who made him see all that the Park Service was, and then in his term, you were retiring. That made him sad, because together you had done something extraordinary. You knew how much he cared about the White House and how it looked to the world. His love and care for the grounds were in the tradition of Washington and Jefferson, though he didn't realize that or consciously strive to emulate them. He just knew that the President's house should live up to an ideal, and you helped him achieve that ideal. I was always so amazed and touched that with all he had to do, he could find the time to care about the gardens. He loved the Rose Garden, so it brought him such peace. And to gaze out at the green lawns instead of the crabgrass ones, he was so proud. He was so proud when it looked so beautiful. And then he started to receive the heads of state there, instead of at Andrews Air Force Base. He was so aware that it was you who made all that possible. No, I'm okay. Yeah.
It's hard.
Sorry.
It's hard.
It's been a long time since I read the letter, so it brings back when Gramps showed it to me the first time. He felt relieved and sure that the White House would stay this way, his vision of what it was, and once it was safely under the guardianship of the Park Service. Now he is gone, and you are no longer the head of the national parks. But the two of you will always be linked together, and you made possible for him some of his happiest hours, for which I am so grateful to you forever. Once I knew this winter that he would never be able to give you the citation which he wanted to give you so much. I had this little box made, but I kept putting off giving it to you. It would have revived so many memories. Now that I am about to leave Washington, I feel I must send it to you as a poor substitute for what you would have received from President Kennedy. But please accept it with our devotion, and please know that all you did was appreciated more than I could ever express. Sincerely, Jacqueline Kennedy.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job, Dana.
I didn't warn Dana, so she really did a good job. I think there's one significant thing about this letter. I mean, another significant thing about this letter. The date of this letter is August 22nd, 1964, and Jackie Kennedy was just leaving Washington, but it was so close to the date of President Kennedy's assassination. We think it's interesting for those in the public, or those of you who have never heard this letter before, that she would take the time to write this personal letter in her own handwriting, not dictated to a secretary. It tells how much it all meant to her. We here in Minneapolis know that the Wirth children, the sons of Theodore Wirth, were taken to work with him and taught every day that he could get their hands on them and get them there. So we here feel a special connection
that this happened at the White House. And the rose gardens that we see every day on the news, every time you turn it on, there they are. This is the end of our program.
I think the sense I get too. See if there's a bottle of water. Oh, there is. Grab me a bottle of water.
Don't worry about that. Oh, is everybody heading for the bathroom?
You're great.
Yes, there is a Boston family.
Yeah.
Diana, I'm happy to see you here. I didn't know that.
So let's give a round of applause to Presto, and they're taking over from here. Commissioner Annie Young. She is on the Minneapolis Park Board. She is an at-large, and those of you who are Minneapolis residents, you know what to do at election time.
Welcome to you all again. Hope you enjoyed the beautiful rose garden, the Japanese peace garden, and the annual flower beds. Now today we're going to continue on your journey traveling along the Grand Rounds. And this is one of those stops. We're at the southernmost end of the city of Minneapolis, next to Fort Snelling and the International Airport, which also have parks that sit on park land. It's Sunday, June 20th, and it's the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The park system is often referred to as the crown jewels of Minneapolis. As you recall in Henry's video Friday night, Theodore Wirth was called the Dime Cutter. Here at the falls, the sun glazes, the flowers with radiance, both hues with yellow. The rays dance on rolling waves of creek. Even the thick forests illuminate as if sparkling emeralds hang from the greens that not only frame, but also shelter the water. The first published description of the falls was by William Keating, a geologist and historian, in 1824. His 2-volume narrative of an expedition to the source of the St. Peter's River said, "The country about the fort contains several waterfalls worth being seen. One of them, which is but 2.5 miles from the garrison and on the road to St. Anthony's, is very interesting. It is known by the name of Brown's Falls and is remarkable for the soft beauties which it presents." The wagon trail on the frontier territory was from Fort Snelling to the Falls of St. Anthony. In 1823, this wagon trail passed by a cascade, then often referred to as Brown's Falls, in honor of the Army's Commander-in-Chief, Jacob Brown. Minnehaha is one of the oldest, Minneapolis' oldest and most popular parks, attracting over 500,000 visitors each year. In the summer, many visit the park for the abundant activities, including concerts, picnics, walking, and viewing the falls. In the fall, the walking the lower trails reveals beautiful changing leaves. The Wobbin picnic area, located at the south end of the park on the gorge, within the park contains 4 outdoor picnic sites, picnic shelter, and cooking and restroom facilities. Minnehaha Park is 193 acres with a 53-foot waterfall, limestone bluffs, and river overlooks. The park contains oak, elm, silver maple, basswood, hackberry, and cottonwood trees, as well as native and prairie woodland flowers. Before Minnehaha was a park, it was a train stop with as many as 39 train trips a day from the Princess Station. In 1889, the state of Minnesota loaned the city of Minneapolis $100,000 to purchase the park from its private owners. The park was named Minnehaha, which means laughing waters, for the falls, as they were dubbed in Henry W. Longfellow's poem, Song of Hiawatha. Present redevelopment began in 1994 to improve Highway 55, build a tuck and cover traffic tunnel, move the Longfellow House, and other miscellaneous landscaping, which if you came over the bridge, you saw all the soil. That's going to be incredible Longfellow Gardens, and the citizens have raised the money for that. The neighborhood revitalization programs put money in to bring the pagodas and the terracing and landscaping back. Our neighborhoods are incredible. Our neighborhoods love their parks. Their neighborhoods put as much money as they can in. The citizens help us raise money all the time. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Have you ever thought about places that writers get their inspiration? That exact moment and place of inspiration to write that very memorable piece? The images Henry Wadsworth Longfellow saw of the powerful Minnehaha came from a photographer by the name of Alexander Hessler. Longfellow, who lived in Massachusetts, received the photos of the falls from his friend. He never saw this sight. The pictures of a forested paradise spoke to Longfellow, who soon wrote the Song of Hiawatha as a tribute to Native American spirit. His poem sold 10,000 copies in the first month it was published in November 1855. His poem, which is partially engraved in pieces of stone out here on the east side of the park, speaks to the green of the land, the tangled barberry bushes, faith in God and nature, and longing for good. It centers on the life and love of an Ojibwe warrior named Hiawatha.